So, what I'm imagining we could do here tonight is just sort of and as others arrive, we'll figure it out. First of all, take a look around the room. It's a AAPI room.
Who's a catcher who played some first base during spring training.
It's kind of. And then, Sam, it's been a while.
Yeah, man, I've been that busy.
I know you have been. Yeah. All right.
So specific images up there.
And I'm here today. I'm spectating today.
Okay.
Curious.
What do you mean you're spectating?
My energy, like.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's and let's see. Let me just.
Did you orchestrate the images on here, or was that came?
No, they just sit there. So Jake, I did tell them that you have to be able to graffiti in here so the kids will. Anyway, they said give us a couple of weeks. We'll see what we can come up with. I don't know if they're going to do that. So here's what I want to propose. Harry put some stuff up and he did it, sort of the way he knew how to do it. And I want to kind of correct that, or a couple of them. And then as an example, let me wait till Sam gets back here.
Did you pick the art that was on the wall? So that comes with this room?
No, it's just this room. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting how it's all lined up like that. I like it.
Yeah. Okay, now if we can get Sam to come back. Hi, Janet.
Mm-hmm. Hi, guys.
Come on back, Sam. Okay, so I was proposing what we could do here, which is that Harry just put up a couple things in the art area, and Jake has got actually an amazing thing in the art area. So let's go there and use what Harry did there as an example of what I think make Harry's stuff work better. Does that sound okay? So just sort of technical, how do you use now comment? All right. And that's not part of it. I'll share.
Nice haircut, Mr. Allison, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll share my screen and maybe that window.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to share it as well, so we can see it. I have it up on.
Yeah, if you want to, yeah, but you won't be able to see what I mean. So you know how to make that big, correct? The little box to the right in the bottom. Is it sharing? Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Good. Okay. So, I'm going to now comment, and let's just quickly review, because Sam said he might be spectating, but that's okay. There are 8 collections in this group, right? And there are instructions for how to go about doing stuff. Want to point out that, and Harry, I mentioned this to you earlier, but there is a link right here to Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage on Youth Voices. It goes to this, which has posts that kids could respond to. Right?
Cool. Yep,
None of that has to do with now comment yet. Okay. There's also a link to the story tracker with Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. There's a link to the Library of Congress here. Just sort of links outside of now comment. Just wanted to point that out. But here's what we want to look at, though. We're going to look at the arts and entertainment group. And you put up this, which is cool, but let's look at it. It's mainly this link the everything's following the following properly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what would we give youth to look at?
So, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like. I didn't know if you wanted them to compare what the article's saying to the video, but the video walks you through what the exhibit is.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Anna.
So, yeah, I don't know
We're,
if it was necessary to
we're,
put that.
it is necessary. So what we want to
Okay.
do, we want to make a page as clean and easy for youth to have conversation around as possible. So
Right.
let me mess with this one, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to
That's
keep.
what I wasn't sure how you break it down for that, purpose.
Now, is this image gallery also part of it?
Yeah, that's the
About the
just
artist?
showing you. And then I did a separate post, that round table at the very bottom. That was the other post that I did. It was just hearing different Asian American Pacific Islanders talk. So I took that and separated and put it as another post.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to do this as fast and as cogently as possible. So we want to put this text. We want to have this image, this video, and then we might want to have these images up as well, right?
Sure.
I'm not
Gives them a
sure.
little bit.
I'm not. Do we need the round table? How long is it?
No, that's a separate post, so you actually don't need that.
Okay. So let's
I did
just.
as another post, just so they can hear like a group talk, but it's not really related.
Let me show you how I would experiment. I would experiment by, and this is worth doing, I think. I notice it's a YouTube video. So I'm
Right.
just going to copy everything, which I just did. Then I'm going to Youth Voices. It doesn't have to be Youth Voices if you're using another, but you can use Youth Voices this way. You could use another online WordPress or other way of, as long as you can create a page. So I'm a teacher. I'm going to go to page.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else interrupt too if I do something that is unusual or you don't know what I'm doing. So on Youth Voices, I'm logged in. I went to page. I'm going to just paste that here so I can see it.
Okay.
And the video did not come with it. So I'm going to go down a little bit. And what's nice about this, I think it's nice, is that you're going to learn also how to use Youth Voices if you do it this way. So I'm coming back here again. I'm getting the link. I'm getting the YouTube link.
Right.
Okay. I mean, this is a bit, you're just sort of watching me do stuff here, but I'm just going to copy the link. I'm coming back to Youth Voices. I'm going to here, and I'm looking for a block for YouTube.
Yeah. Like as a,
I see. There is a YouTube block, and all I have to do is paste the URL there, and I embed it, and it embedded below that block. Notice, so I need to move it up a block. Whoops, nope, wrong thing. I need to move this block up. So the video comes first.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm constructing a page that I'm then going to copy and put into Youth Voices. Gives me a lot more control to do it that way. Does that make some sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm coming back. Yeah.
Were you copying that to put it into Youth Voices or to put it back on Now Comment?
First, I'm creating a page on Youth Voices.
Right.
That I will then copy and put on Now Comment.
Okay, I didn't hear you right. Okay, that's way better than what I did with the article. I like what you're saying.
Well,
yeah, I didn't.
It allows you to clean up stuff and make it look nice, and
it's more student friendly that way. It's more kind of
Okay, now I'm trying to figure out: do I need on the blog? Do I need that? The image gallery I might want. Do you think that's an interesting part of this presentation?
The only thing they wouldn't know is that they wouldn't realize that this artist deals with fabric, unless they see it. They think it's architecture when you first look at it.
Yeah,
and
it
it
looks like
actually
plastic.
has to do with fabric. So I don't think they would realize that unless they saw, examples of it.
That's fabric?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's neat.
So in answer to your question, Paul, yes, we should have that.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind my doing this, it's sort of like another step. But what you need to do is see if you can download these images. This may seem like a lot, but let's.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was allowed to do that. So I just was like, well, is there going to be an issue with copyright? I know the information's there though. They're giving credit
So
to the but I
Yeah,
didn't know
if you're not selling it, you're just teaching with it. It's just for you.
it's an educational tool. Yeah. I
Yeah.
just didn't want to go ahead and do that in Youth Voices without you being okay with that. So, yeah.
So what I'm going to say is not everybody agrees, including some really good friends, with my feeling of fair use, which is that fair use is a guideline. It's not a law. And if anybody says, hey, you put all those images up, you got to take them down. So there's safe harbor also, right?
Yeah.
I deal with safe harbor and fair use and just put anything up that we want to put up. Okay.
Gotcha.
And it's again, as soon as anybody says, nope, can't put that up, we'll take it down. And I think we're pretty safe with that. And yes, because I'm saving each of these images, and that may be crazy, but let me do that. Okay. And if you don't mind.
Yeah, see, I didn't.
Yep.
I didn't know if you wanted me to. I didn't know if you would see that as too much work, as if they access it through the link. But then the thing is, if they just access it through the link, they're not getting the one-on-one that they would get by creating as an article in Youth Voices. So that's why I was worried. I'm wondering, how you would do that.
Yeah. Okay. This is how I would do it. Okay. Now I'm coming back here, and this is again learning a little bit about Youth Voices. I'm not going to use the gallery. Just trust me on that, because it gives you less control over size of image. And so I have to go to each. I'm using an image block, right? And these are the images that went up, correct?
Yeah. You're going to do an image block for each one?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, worth knowing, well, yeah, I know this isn't exactly exciting to watch. Okay, so what happens is the image gets smooshed, right?
Yeah.
Over here, and then what you want to do is change the image size to full size, because that's how Nowcom will read it.
I gotcha.
And then, but 1300 is way too big. If you click this little dot right here, it'll drop it down to 750, which is perfect for Nowcom. So you want to make all of your images 750.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you think it's important? Okay. No, go ahead.
Go ahead, ask the question.
I was just going to ask you where you can put the caption for that. Do you think it's important to put the caption that goes with each image underneath that, with the images on the Youth Voices?
I think it is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
So,
I was just wondering how much you include. Yeah. Okay.
No, I can't. Doesn't look like you can copy it though.
Right. Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to be able to highlight it, but I don't know if you can.
It only says it doesn't give any information though, right? It just gives the title.
It just tells you. Yeah, it gives kind of like courtesy of, it gives the attribute to Smithsonian, but yeah.
Well, are they all the same caption? I think the captions are almost identical, aren't they?
I think so, because it's all the installation shots, right? Yeah, it just gives the date, the installation name, and who took the photo for Smithsonian.
Yeah.
Are they all the same? Okay.
I think
So,
so.
Do you boringly want to read that to me? So there's a caption right here.
Yeah,
I'm
and that's
just
where you
trying to
put it,
get it. Yeah, installation shot of do.
right? Yeah. I can try pulling it up. Art. Okay. Mhm.
No, it's okay. I got it.
Oh,
I
you got
got
it? Okay.
Smithsonian American Art Museum. 2018. Yeah. Again, if class is about to start, you're not going to have patience to do this. I get it, but this is ideally what we're trying to do, and I'm just pasting it there.
2018.
Thank you. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Smithsonian American Art Museum. Okay.
So I see the installation, but what's like the deeper meaning if you go through and read the artist statement and all that?
I'm guessing, so that can continue. Well, Harry's chosen this for a reason. Why did you choose this, Harry?
It just there's very few. When you go to an American Art Museum, you see all the 50 states usually, but there's a whole collection in the Smithsonian American Art Museum that are individuals that are from outside the United States that are actually American. So I thought with AAPI that would be pretty cool, just to highlight, having the American Art Museum highlight some of the American citizens that are either Pacific Islander or Asian American.
Okay.
And they get to see it visually instead of just, oh, okay, yeah, that person's from Asia or Pacific Islander, that's why they're American, and that's it. It doesn't just stop there. So I just thought maybe with the art exhibit, and then them being able to see some visuals, that would put a new dimension on what that theme is for the month.
Okay, quick tutorial. Or it's not such a quick tutorial, but I'm trying to speed it up a little bit. I'm going up here under these two tabs up here. There's a page tab, and I'm going to make it full width so I don't have to deal with a sidebar. And then I'm going to hit publish. It's not ready yet, but I'm just going to jump to that. I'm going to view page, and it's going to give me a page like this, right?
Yeah.
Now that video is awfully big, but so that makes me wonder if I should deal with that. I'm not going to deal with it.
So
okay, so let's say
you can go in.
What? Go ahead. What?
You can go in the edit page anytime and re-edit things on the page that you posted.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'll do that. I'll do it just for the hell of it. I don't know though if I can edit the size of this with this. I'm checking.
Oh.
With that YouTube. So let's go with it. Okay. So I'm just going, let's say the other images are here too. I'm just simply going to highlight everything, including the video. I hope I got the video. I'm going to copy it. Now I'm coming to now comment. So if you haven't been paying attention, here's a key moment. I am on a page that has upload document. It really doesn't matter where this is happening. Anywhere where you see upload document at the top. You want to go there, you want to go here, and we're going to paste here. And the video...
Which option above are you choosing? Like out of all those blocks, like from the web page?
Oh, good question.
Oh.
I'm choosing I'm choosing copy and paste from a web page.
Oh, that's why. Okay, so you didn't use voices, and that's okay. I see.
Okay.
What's that underneath it? The writing underneath the YouTube image.
I don't know.
It's like the writing from the body is appearing under the video. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that's happening. So here's what I'm gonna do. I think it's go ahead. Did you have a question also?
No, I think when I did it earlier and the writing showed up underneath it, it corrected itself when you.
Oh, it may happen.
Yeah. So visually it looks like that, but when it publishes, it's underneath.
Yeah, it did. At least this morning when I put a different one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back on the Youth Voices page. I'm more comfortable doing it this way. I'm going to copy the embed code from YouTube, which I just I right click on the image, copy the embed code, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to edit this page. And I think it's giving so that I have some control and it over. I'm going to get rid of this block if I can.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. I'm going to remove that block. And I'm simply going to get another block. This is all worth learning, I think, by the way.
Yeah.
This time I'm going to just get the, because I got embed code, I'm just going to get the HTML block.
Oh.
All right. And I'm going to paste the embed code here. I'm going to preview that. I'm happier with that now. I'm going to move that up on top of that paragraph again. And hope that gives me a better result. View page. It's still really big. Okay, I don't know why. Okay, this is getting boring now.
It's not. It's useful.
Okay, as long as you're still saying. Okay.
But you're going to
So-
suggest if it's for a student, we start doing it in the Youth Voices, right? Like this.
Yeah, it's
so
okay.
That it's more,
so
yeah.
Okay. So here's, I'm going to do it one other way and do one more thing. I'm going to go to share. I'm going to go to, okay, we're going
Almost Home is a collection of work by Doha Sa that explores the nature
to YouTube itself. I'm going to go to the share button and I'm going to go to embed and I'm going to notice that it's 560 by 315, which is nice. I'm going to copy that and I'm coming back here again. And notice the width here, the width was like really big there. There,
So
that gives me better width. Okay. I'm updating that. I'm going to view page. I have all my images down there below. Much nicer. Okay. Okay. I copy the video, I copy the image, and I come back to upload again, and I get rid of all the stuff I had in there before. I go to source to make sure it's all gone. And I come back out of source and I paste. And nothing pasted. Come on. There it goes. That looks better, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm going to post this. We can take it down later because when I get the other images up. Now I need to get the title.
Mm-hmm.
Right. These now we're on now comment issues. I get the title and I hit upload. All right. Takes a second to upload. I save and continue. I mean, I can check it there if I want to and make changes if I need. The special features I hit is make it public. I want the email. I want to disallow revisions. I want to customize colors. I want to supply bibliographic information, and I don't want to turn that off. So it's the top first three and these three. The middle one and the last one we leave blank. That's just sort of, I can explain each of those if you ever want me to. Creating a custom URL is useful to do. What that does is it allows you, so Donho Su. How about we call this almost home?
Yeah.
Okay. Has to be one word. Can't have numbers or spaces at the beginning. The author of this is who?
It's accredited to the American Art Museum.
The Smithsonian American. So I'm just going to do that. Okay. Now citation. Again, you can go back and do this later, but I'm going to do it now, just because this is when else do we get a chance to do this?
Right.
I use EasyBib. So if you just click that link, you can use other ones if you'd like. I'm just going to go back and get the URL for this. What happened? Oh, it jumped, sorry. I lost the page. Okay.
Did you get it?
Yep, I've got it. EasyBib's taking a while to come up, so I'm just it's a web page, so I just go website. I go here. Hopefully they're gonna. I've done this in the last. They won't make me watch a commercial first. No. Okay, I go to site. And that looks good enough. Continue. And there's no name necessary here. Smithsonian Shop. I think we're good. But sometimes you have to put the author's name in there. Worth knowing.
Right.
Complete citation. And it gives me a citation here, which I'm just going to copy. I'm going to come back to now comment and pop that in there. This is 2018.
Yeah.
Again, all of these fields can be put in afterwards if you want to get something up fast. But where is it? Right there. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm getting the URL again. Now, this one is, if you do nothing else, copying the URL and putting it underneath, the original URL here is very useful. Because that goes under the title, and you can get back to the original that way.
Okay.
Okay, and this is a video and essay. Okay, and you can change these if you'd like. We're not. These are my sort of standard ones I use, and then I hit finish. And there's the video, and there's the text, and then there's the images down below.
Oh, I see.
Right.
So that's giving the annotation numbers and lines. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now we're not done yet.
Yeah.
Now we need to come back to here, not here. We need to come back to the art one. Now we need to come to the arts and entertainment group. And we're going to remove, is it this one? No, we're going to remove this one for now. Okay. And we're going to, so we're in this, we're inside the AAPI group. and we're in the Arts and Entertainment collection, and we're adding another document here. And do you remember the title? It's just Doho. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. So you click here and you look through. Yours probably isn't as long as mine, but you got to find Doho. I'm sorry for mispronouncing that. There it is.
That doesn't show on our.
It's the pop-up didn't show?
Correct.
So there's a pop-up that comes that lists all of the things that are in your library.
Yeah.
And it's alphabetical, but yeah, so you just have to find it. Okay. I'm correcting this with my tech guy, but right now it pops in like a little bit of the text, and I think that's confusing. So I get rid of it. Okay. And then I choose a file. We're going to choose this one. And I'm going to add now. And so there's the post with one image. And then I can go here and annotate it.
Gotcha.
So does that make sense?
Yep.
How do I hear the broadcast?
Yep. So I can do the same thing with the artist roundtable.
Yourself closer
I popped
to
it in because I wasn't sure how to do it, but yeah.
Okay.
Using the arrow keys, yeah, you're going farther away. So use the up arrow to go up a little bit. There you go.
Hello.
Thank you.
Um,
A little late, but happy to listen.
Welcome. So so we just spent a good half hour looking at sort of the technical side of putting stuff up on Youth Voice on Now Comment, using Youth Voices as a way to kind of construct the page. But there are, if you have your own way of doing it, that's great. I just thank you for letting me play with that. Let's look now though at what's here and how people are thinking about this. And I'm gonna share a screen again, but I'm gonna shift my energies to thinking about what this thing is that we've created, right? Meaning, and I'm adjusting my screens a little bit here. So I'm going to stay in the art one for a second and show Jake Jacobs is here tonight. Jake has an amazing history. Do you want to describe it as I'm bringing it up, Jake? What is this thing? History of manga. Manga? No. Are you still here, Jake? Yeah, you are. Jake, if you're talking, you're muted. There you go. Okay.
Find the right tab for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is I do these slideshows all the time. I'm an art teacher, but since I've been doing remote teaching, it's really hard to get kids to draw or to paint or do anything with their hands. And when I try, I don't have very good participation. So I kind of switched to like more of an art history thing. And I get into it. I pick a topic, and then I just get into I go back all the way to the history of it, and I try to find things that kids are interested in because they're all into manga. I could just tell by their avatars. So I go all the way back and trace the roots of it. I did have a book on my bookshelf about this, so that was nice. And I had I'd been studying this kind of stuff for a while. And I traced kind of like, the very first examples of, paper making, the first examples of writing, the first examples of drawing in Japan. And it gets into China a little bit, the influence. In the early part of the, ancient, or the early part of, I guess it goes back right around like, the first couple of centuries. Very religious. I didn't even realize myself that all the nature art was had a lot more meaning than I thought. The Shinto religion was before the Buddhism came over from China, and they believe that like if you draw trees and mountains and rivers and stuff, that they're all imbued with the spirits of different deities.
So, Jake,
So I didn't really realize that. I knew there was a lot of like natural motifs in early Japanese art and the traditional art. So that was interesting. And then the Buddhism comes in, and you can see all the different deities and the different names. And they have the thing where people die, and then a couple hundred years later they get kind of like immortalized, and they get turned into deities with temples built to them. So that was really interesting.
Hello, Jake. I just want to. I want to kind of like if you went into each thing, we wouldn't have time. I think, like you then also introduce some artists. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, so this is kind of like a real all-around survey where you get into some history, you get into some culture, you get into religion, you get into geography, and then it just kind of goes chronologically forward, till like the post-war era and the first couple of cartoonists, and you just like, I just have like a screen trying to represent like the major, touchstones.
So how do you use this now with students?
So, yeah, and it's kind of lame. In my school has a half an hour period, for each grade. So I do one half an hour with the 8th grade, one half an hour with the 7th grade, one half an hour with the 6th grade. And so I just try to run through all this stuff, and I offer these slideshows to the other teachers if they want to connect to it in advisory, or if they want to connect to it in their subject.
So let me just say that Tristan, one of my students, is like total. He's already looked at it a little bit.
Yeah.
But just to say that what's nice about this is that instead of running through, we can actually ask him to slow down and, just if you don't know this about Now Comment yet, and highlight like just this section, and then make comments and have conversations about these slides. So or you can click on the paragraph thing up here and refer to the whole thing. So Jake, I would love to spend more time here. I want to go back to the group now and just say that thank you. There's also a recent graduate from Columbia, and her images I thought would I put it up as if Jake. We're not going to have time to look at each of these things, so let me just but these images are here. Some of them are kind of real contemporary in terms of what's going on, and so that's another thing to look at. Moving kind of quickly to so that's the arts. There, just want to identify, and then you should interrupt me and say, wait, let's slow down there. Biden's proclamation is here, and there's a paragraph in there that sort of breaks out the history that I think is worth looking at. This one is, Anna. Are you still here, Anna? I hope so. Do you want to talk about these two stories?
Sure. So I've taught paper menagerie to an advanced class of English language learners a few times. It's a great story. I think probably accessible to middle school as well as high school students. So you can already see some of the annotations they've done. My students have done already.
Nice back and forth here.
Yeah, exactly. It was asynchronous, but it was some back and forth. Cool. And yeah, it's just the story of a kid who is his father is white and his mother is Chinese, and just about the struggle in their relationship because of like their differing cultures. It's kind of sad, but there's a little bit of like magical realism in there. Kids tend to enjoy it. And then there's this other story from a collection of short stories by Amy Phan or Phan. I'm not totally sure how it's pronounced. Who is Vietnamese American. And the collection is called We Should Never Meet. And I've just pulled one story from that collection, which is the whole collection centers around Operation Baby Lift, and it's very much about the Vietnam War and follows children who were kind of the product of American occupation, or just so the story that's posted there is about a set of Vietnamese friends who are bringing babies from one orphanage to another. So you get a pretty deep insight into the Vietnamese War.
So as we whip through these, sorry, I'm looking at the clock. Very important, like use the two that Anna has put up there with your kids. That would be great to do. But like if you have one that you think is amazing, add to it. That's the whole tone of these collections that I have difficulty getting across to people, that we want these to be resources that you can dip into and use, but also an invitation to say, hey, I have a gem that works really well with my students. Let me put that up too. Okay, so collected some anecdotes and memoirs here. This one is from, what do they call themselves now? Teaching Justice, I think. So this would be
Learning for Justice.
Learning for Justice, thank you. This is from Learning for Justice, from their fall magazine. It's a story of a young woman and her lunch situation. And this one, the Cartoon Network thing, is kind of fun. Then there's one of Asian Pacific Islanders reading letters to their parents about their coming out experiences, which is interesting. And then this Korean, relatively recent memoir as well. So these things are here, and like Karen teaches a anecdote memoir class, and I thought, it'd be great if whatever worked really well there would be, that's Asian or island, Pacific Island, would be great to have. And then I kind of appointed Janet, and I don't, just because she introduced this to us, but then, so the US versus hate stuff, there is a video here of a spoken word. There's just this image. I'm not a virus, so people could go in and annotate this image, right? And then there's a whole report that we put up here about different kinds of different kinds of harassment and assaults that people have been facing. So if somebody wants to kind of go deep into that research, that's possible. Should I slow down or finish?
Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. So then there's a folder for culture, history, and politics. What's here so far is a timeline that I pulled from National Geographic, which is quite fascinating in terms of original or primary source, right? Because the text really does explain the image, but the images go through history in a really fascinating way, I think. Including, I like the last one here. So you get a sense of, so that's there. I think it's a nice, again, remember annotating those images. And then PBS has a Asian Americans episode thing coming up. I don't know how long that will stay up there. I'm not sure. Anna, and I don't know if Iran is Asian, but I think it is,
Yes.
right? Okay, thank you. Anna, you'll have to explain this again briefly. Amazing conversations they're having here.
Yeah, it's very short, but it's really there's a pretty large Iranian. We're reading Persepolis, so if anyone is doing that with their kids, this is like a cool supplement to that. It just talks a little bit about the Iranian diaspora, and I forget which school, but they're trying to start an Iranian diaspora like program. I think it's California College of Arts or something. So it's mostly around this. San Francisco State University. That's and they were hosting a conference last year because it was the 40th, or 2 years ago because it was the 40th anniversary. So it's pretty short. But it's very interesting and not something I feel like I've ever studied with kids before. So.
But they seem into the conversation. Interesting. All right. What else is here? Oh, here's an article. I forget where we got this from. Oh, from the New Yorker, which kind of, again, relatively accessible for most high school students. Accounting of the history of anti-Asian violence. Finding the balance between like heritage and dealing with the, stop the hate stuff is an interesting thing for us to be thinking about as we do this, I think. And then there are four poems so far, and each of them are by a woman. So I don't know if we need a man in here or not, but there's some poetry. I happen to love this one, by the way. But just to say, we could have more AAPI poems dropped into that folder. So I think that's more or less. Notice there's a little link here that returns you to the group. So the way to engage kids is they can come to this page. You can just give them this URL for this page, and they can join this. And once they join, all this stuff will show up in their libraries. Okay.
I added one somewhere, but I don't.
Oh, wait.
where.
Yeah, actually. Sorry.
But it was, well, what was interesting, and I don't know how much you guys have done Teen Vogue, but I am telling you, there's some really powerful op-eds from them. And that's one that I don't know where it ended up. You know how I am, Paul. God only knows where it's mine, for sure. And I just got a quick look at it today, but that is a really powerful source. They really take on some pretty interesting things. And this op-ed was about why kind of going against the whole Stop the Hate campaign. And it was really interesting read. So I thought it would kind of took a good counter argument to some of the stuff that's in there. So
yeah, I should identify, I mean, the other folder that I didn't talk about at all is one that Janet inspired. So it's like articles for your colleagues or for teachers or for educators or for pre-service or teachers kind of thing, right? This Dear Educators is kind of amazing, I think. And most of these have links to other things. But, yeah,
well,
there's that.
I just put in the chat. I came across an interesting article about now that the U.S. is going to be pulling out of Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of apprehension by female students in Afghanistan that the Taliban is going to take control again and try to prevent them from going to school, and how like a whole generation has grown up, with relative security there. So I put that article in the chat.
Oh, nice. I mean, not that that's a nice thing.
No, it's not. Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? I'm like,
yes. But yeah.
So I was going to say this. I was going to say this for Janet, but I'll say it for you too. If you want to mess around with Now Comment and put stuff up, please go do that and figure that out. But if you want, if you like have an idea and you just want, send it to me and I'll work on it. Right? May not happen immediately, but
I want to
happy to
see.
do that. Yeah.
I'm gonna have
So
my,
Jake, make sure you send that to my email too, because I may not get it from
Yeah,
the
I
chat.
was trying to figure out how to put on now comment. I don't think
Oh, go for
I
it.
could just put it in our conversation.
Go for it. And the other thing is, if you try to put it in now comment and you're not sure where it went, again, email me and I'll find it. We'll
Right.
figure
I
it
will
out.
email you.
Okay.
I love who did that manga one, because it's so funny that I was talking with my writing club yesterday and they were teaching me about that, which I know nothing, but is like a blank genre for me. And I have two young ladies. I now have an app on my phone of something I need to start reading, and they were explaining all these things to me. So I can hardly wait to dive into that. So there will definitely be some comments next Tuesday afternoon from just a couple of the students that I work with on that. So I'm really excited to see that piece.
Yeah, there's a lot there. You could really just like pick a screen and spend like 15 minutes on one screen, because they're all like very deeply researched. But then I just take a little bit of it and put it up, with some pictures and just some captions. For younger kids, I have them take turns just reading the blurb, and then for older kids, you can get into all kinds of other things.
Well, now I have Webtoon on my phone, which I guess has a lot of different. That's really what the kids are reading now. All those types of comments right on your phone, free, and it's a really interesting.
Yeah,
It's my
if you
summer.
take that slideshow and you run it backwards, you could have the kids kind of bring you through it, and then like they'll probably get to a point in history where it's getting very new for them.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I'm really excited.
So in the last 5 minutes here or so, I want to ask you to get meta for me a little bit, and I want to say this, or at least have another eye on this, that it's great that we're putting this together for each other and for the world for May 2021, but that group will stay up too, and we'll keep pruning it and making it. And we can start thinking about other months to do as well together, so that we begin to collect, and have things for the future as well. So that's worth thinking about a little bit.
And I will say, I've had feedback from students about incorporating more Asian literature in my class, and like it doesn't matter when I engage with it, but like having a collection, I've seen more today than I think I've seen in my entire short teaching career, which is really cool. So I'm very grateful to Paul for starting this.
Cool.
My daughter teaches 4th and 5th. She's been with you guys once, and she has a student in her class. She said, "This is the first time ever that anyone's talked about me as an ethnicity." And like finding text. She said, where I'm reading about myself, and she's in 5th grade. So I thought, wow, that's so true. When I look at my collection, it's so true.
There's somebody here who I don't know. Do you want to introduce yourself? Say hi.
Am I unmuted?
No, you're perfect. We can hear you fine. Yeah, go.
Yes.
So thank you for having me. I was part of the New York Writers Project, and I am new, though I've been following you. And because of the API, I'm a 3rd grade dual language teacher in Manhattan. As a school, we collectively got a folder together. And so I'm looking at Kumo Space, I'm looking at your collaborations, and now I've just looked at Now Comment because I love annotating even with 3rd grade. So I'm just going to mine what you have, and then anything that we put together in our school that may be relevant. I'm sad that the events brought us to this point, but like many of you said, it's an opportunity, and so we just started with a map of Asia, and we're going to move through it. So looking forward to getting to know you and some of the technology you bring to what we're all trying to do. So thanks.
Very exciting. Cool. Welcome. So the other sort of other the other participatory thing is that I worry that there are all these resources but like, where will the conversation happen, right? I wish there were, so we just to think about that a little bit. Like that Jake's art history thing, that would be, yeah. I just hope that kids find each other in these spaces too. They're not just resources, they're also places for conversation, right? And so I don't know how to emphasize that, but yeah.
I'm almost wondering, and this is a summer thing too, right? Because we all just got to get through, unless you all feel like me. How we could do some invitations in the fall where we almost, I know we don't want to direct students where to go, but if you don't know where to go, you don't know what it is, right? So, I mean, what if we highlighted different spaces every month as a team, even through social media, and really focusing on certain sections of what we do, because I think that would be really helpful. And I'm not saying you have to go do this, but I think Paul Hankins and I did that, where we brought some kids together purposefully, and then some of them stayed, right? Some grew into that piece, and that's the best you can hope for. So I'm wondering if we could do some highlighting of it. Like you said, we're going to create these things per month. Okay, well, it's being created, we don't want to highlight it necessarily, but maybe the next month or 2 months down the road, we kind of spend some time doing that, or committing to putting that out on Twitter or wherever we decide we want to put this, because I think that would be helpful.
I agree with you. Worth noting that each comment has its own URL. I don't know if you know that, but you can go into each comment, find the URL. So you could like say, hey, go check out this slide that this kid is talking about this, right? So yeah, we could do some of that promoting. Given how May is and what Janet just said about just getting to the end, thank you all for spending some time here. I appreciate it. There is a new category on, I said this right at the beginning, so there is a new AAPI category on Youth Voices, and I went through the history and found anything that was related. Some of your students, Anna, mentioned that they are Asian, even though it's a post about something else. So all of that is up there. You can look for that category as well. Thank you.
I have one big exciting news. My school is going to become an immunization site for kids 16 and over.
Wow.
And she'll be immunizing our whole school while offering it to the school, their families, and the community. Wow. So that was a humongous, I want to end on that really positive note.
Which is what like instead of requiring it, how about offering it?
Right. And we're having it, it's the Pfizer one, and it's, 2 days, and they've already committed to the 2 days. And well, I'll let you know how it goes. It's interesting. So a lot of my students, people are still real mixed about it. So we'll see. But, but it was exciting to be able to offer that out. I think, schools are going to do it faster than CVS. Is all I got to say.
I've been running past the same person. I run past the same 5 people, right, in a park nearby. And now that my mask is off when I'm running, and that other person's mask is off too. Pat, hi. She's an old friend. I didn't even know it was her. Anyway.
I know, right?
I'm meeting my neighbors again, which is nice. Just to say.
It is.
Cool. Thank you all. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for the help.
Yeah,
Take care,
thanks for
everyone.
showing all that. That's cool.